count our blessings in the rain, darkness the deep. Say the politics, got your money alone.
Hey, this is Brianna for Unsigned and Unleashed, and I'm here with Josh Scogin from the Chariot. How are you?
Doing really good.
Awesome. So how are you dealing with Warped Tour and, of course, your live performance and the heat and everything?
I'm dealing with it by just having really fun shows, and yeah, it's a blast. In Vegas, I think I blacked out a couple times.
Really?
I ended up waking up on the bus, so I don't really know how that went, but other than that, every other show has been really fun.
Awesome.
And just try to drink as much water, and yeah, everything else has been a blast.
Awesome. Okay, so my first question is, you guys have been hanging out with a lot of different bands from different genres. Like, for example, I know that you just hung out with Jesse from Sleeping with Sirens. So how do you feel about people who sort of think, oh, the Chariot, they're not going to hang out with a number of these bands on this tour?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, people are people, regardless of the style of music they play, and all the Sleeping with Sirens dudes are some of our good friends, and what's funny is all their crew members are actually people that we've known from previous bands and stuff as well, so there's a big connection there, and Never Shall Never and Bring the Horizon, and just a ton of bands that have really, Echo Smith, just a ton of bands that have really reached out and just hung out with us. People are people, so.
Yeah, definitely. Alright, so One Wing has been out for a little bit now. Do you guys plan on releasing a music video for anything off that?
There's talks here and there about different things of that nature. We kind of just got rolling forward so fast on the touring front and stuff, that we released that one live video that sort of came out, but yeah, it's something that sort of we dabble with from time to time, but after a while you just kind of start working on the next project. So music videos sort of come and go, and if we have a great idea, we try to pursue it, but otherwise, we don't. I mean, I'm not really into just shooting a video just to shoot a video,
Yeah. Okay. So my next question is, you guys have such a notoriously crazy, energetic show. How do you deal with the tour injuries? What's the worst tour injury you've had so far?
I mean, we've actually been really safe, considering. There's been lots of chipped teeth and a few stitches and a couple of concussions, but over nearly 10 years of the Chariot, that's not bad, I don't think. Well, what's funny is we're sharing a bus with O Sleeper, and their merch guy, who was not even in the show, broke his arm the other day, and it was because he was holding his hand out like this, hey, boom, and someone broke his arm. So of all the funky stuff that goes on, someone being like, hey, and then that being the thing to break your arm.
That would.
So you never know. Yeah. If it's your time to have an arm broken, I think it's just gonna happen.
Then it's your time. Okay. All right. So Cheat is the last song on One Wing, and it's probably my favorite because it's both. It's kind of chilling, but it's also very inspiring. So, thank you. So, what inspired you to write that song?
Well, I'm trying to think. I think the speech I heard. Obviously the speech came first, but I think I heard that and just thought I was blown away whenever I first heard it. Just blown away by how something so long ago can be so applicable to today and so true to today's circumstance. And I think I just wanted a song written sort of around that. And I had some ideas for a song and kind of didn't know what to do with the middle bit. And so I think it just sort of, it almost built itself, I just was kind of there to be able to place the puzzle pieces in, but yeah, it's one of my favorite tracks because we just kind of let it breathe and we let it do what it needed to do, and we didn't want to complicate it with a ton of my lyrics and a ton of musical tricks. We just let it sort of hang out and let Charlie Chaplin do his thing. So which I'm a big fan of, and I know all of us in the band just love his work and love. He wrote, directed, and did the score for all his movies and stuff, or at least most of them. And I don't know, a real hard worker, and then really that speech is just phenomenal.
Definitely. All right, so I have 2 more questions for you.
Hi.
The first is, what is the worst and what is the best part of touring?
The worst part is easy. The worst part is when you're sick on tour, like any kind of real sickness, like if you're just kind of like got a headache, whatever, but if you're really sick and you're at home and you're 2-3 days, you'll be better. If you're on tour, trying to play shows and trying to give it your all, and I mean, it might take 2 weeks to get better because you're just in the worst circumstance.
Bacteria, like everywhere.
Exactly. And in a fake perfect world, like you never want to cancel a show because everything, but in a fake perfect world, you could just time out for 2 days, and then you'd be better, and then you could carry on. But obviously, so that's the worst for sure. And thankfully, it's very few and far between that I get sick or whatever. But and the best is everything else. Everything else, from meeting people, playing the shows, getting to write music you love, traveling. I mean, everything else is the best. It's that one thing that really, when it is upon you, it's very, very bummer.
Yes, I agree. All right, so my last question is kind of a weird one, and I like to ask bands this, and I feel like it's kind of perfect for you, actually.
Okay.
All right, so how would you describe a good person?
A good person?
Yes.
Gosh, I mean, that's so layered. A good person to me is someone that is just enough outgoing to like be able to talk to, and just enough reserved to not be crazy.
Okay.
And I don't know, somewhere in that middle ground, because I'm very able to sort of withdraw back and not I like just small company, I like when there's just like a couple people.
Yeah.
Sometimes when it gets a lot, it can be kind of overwhelming, and so for me, a really good person is just a really friendly person. That will just come up and talk to you and not think you're weird or anything, but not like sort of overbear, somewhere around in that area.
Awesome.
Right on.
Okay, well, thank you so much for talking to me.
Thank you.
All right.
Take care now.